I'm going to start today's video right at the very end. Often we see all the glossy promotional information on a particular product, all looks great, then you receive the product and you're somewhat disappointed. It doesn't quite live up to expectation. Well, what I can tell you with Honeycomb Sierra TPM, throttle, prop and mixture unit, well, you're not going to be disappointed. If anything, the glossy promo doesn't do it enough justice. Let's take a look. This is the Simhanger channel. My name's Mark. Thanks very much for watching and let's get started. The packaging from Honeycomb is standard fare using the egg box type packaging, and inside you'll find the obligatory manual which covers how to connect it to your PC and how to use the desk clamps. Desk mounting is exactly the same as it is for all Honeycomb products, and as you would expect, it uses the standard Honeycomb clamps. These are sturdy and made out of metal. Connection is via one USB-C to one USB-A. The form factor for the TPM unit is the same as any Honeycomb unit, and it comes with a trim wheel, throttle, prop and mixture vernier style controls, common for GA-type aircraft, particularly Cessnas and the like. Made from a hardened plastic, but the TPM heads are made out of metal and very nicely finished. The shafts for the throttle prop and mixture are also metal. The Sierra TPM includes a flap lever, parking brake and gear. Note this unit does not have any backlighting. Desktop mounting is straightforward and allows for the unit to be detached from the desk mount fairly quickly and easily. Connection via one USB-C, USB-A to the PC. These wheels are used to fasten the unit to the mount. At the rear, at the front obviously you use the clamps and they fasten onto the lugs here, and the wheels on the unit fasten down onto these lugs. Tried and tested system that works very well indeed. Slot it over the center pin and push it back. Tighten the wheels down and you're done. Let's take a closer look. The trim wheel has a very nice feel to it. I'm assuming at this point it's non-contact Hall effect sensors and reminds me very much of the Velocity 1 flight trim wheel. The Cessna style throttle lever is very nicely styled and has a built-in friction adjustment. Here I've loosened it. Movement is free and easy. Now tightening it up simply by turning this here. It's not all the way up, but already it's very stiff. You can turn this to suit yourself. That now has a very realistic feel to it, and you won't accidentally knock it forward. The proper mixture levers are taking a leaf out of the Cessna handbook. You can't move them unless you depress the button in the center, move it, keeping the button depressed, release the button and it's held in place. Very nice feature. However, proper mixture have one additional feature that you only find normally in very expensive units. That is the ability to turn them for fine adjustment of prop or mixture setting. As you turn the lever head, there's a very nice friction to it. Clearly a lot of thought went into the functionality of this unit. The flap lever is standard Honeycomb fare, and the parking brake has a very nice and firm feel to it. It's push in or pull out. Gear lever itself is spring loaded. We're pending an update to the AFC bridge to enable the lights for the gear. Just note this product hasn't actually been released yet. In terms of mounting units, it has exactly the same number of screws in the same place along the top of the fascia. So for any of you that attach other units, or perhaps prefer an under-desk mount as I do, it's fully compatible. There are a wide variety of different under-desk mounts available at very different price points. If you're interested in it, check out this video, link in the notes below, for my favorite desk mount. It's pricey, but you get what you pay for. The Sierra TPM is not Xbox compatible, but will work hand in hand with any yoke, including the Honeycomb Alpha, XPC, and of course the new Honeycomb Lite. Once again, review on my channel. Once again, link in the notes below. We'll shortly jump into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and I'm going to be testing it in the Cessna 185 Skywagon. We're in a beautiful location in the Italian Alps. But before we do that, let's have a look at the config. So let's jump to the controls menu. At the time of making this video, there's no default configuration for the Sierra TPM. Under the airplane controls, I've created a new profile called Sierra, and this is the complete configuration that you'll need. If you do get one of these units, feel free to copy it. This will suit all aircraft using the default profiles. Couple of quick pointers. If set parking brake doesn't work on some aircraft, change it to parking brake on and parking brake off. You have 3 axis assignments: throttle, prop, and mixture. Throttle is X, propeller Y, and mixture is Zulu or Z. For each of the axes, select the cog for the action settings, and I had to invert the axes. That's it, the configuration is straightforward and easy. Select the tool icon next to the Sierra, and then select hardware settings. Here are your 3 axes shown, and here you can adjust the sensitivity, although I recommend that you leave them linear. Today I'll be doing the test with a standard desktop configuration using the Alpha yoke and the Sierra TPM. However, I find the ideal setup is the yoke on top of the desk and use the under desk mount for the TPM. Let's jump into the Skywagon. Welcome to the business end, and the first thing we're going to test is the throttle. We'll advance that and you should see an increase in the manifold pressure here, as well as a change in tone of engine obviously. I haven't had to calibrate this out the box at all, and the controls feel very responsive indeed. Now full throttle, let's just come back and the manifold pressure drops again as we would expect it to. Movement is smooth both in sim and on the controller itself. Happy with the throttle, let's try out the prop. Gonna need some RPM for this, so pushing the throttle forward once again, and this time we're gonna cast our eye onto the RPM gauge here as we adjust the prop, so we'll see a change in the RPM. To move the prop lever, I need to press the button in, pulling back now on the prop, and we can see the RPM drop. Why do some aircraft have a button on their prop and their mixture? Well, that's to stop you accidentally bumping it and moving it during flight. Now for some fine adjustment, keep your eye on the RPM gauge, turning anti-clockwise to reduce the RPM in very small steps. And the RPM gauge is reflecting exactly that. Perfect. Excellent feature, as I mentioned, something normally only found on much more expensive units. Now we're going to test the mixture. Keep your eye on the fuel flow. As we pull back, once again we're going to find that the fuel flow or gallons per hour will decrease. There it goes. Don't want to pull it back too far, otherwise we'll cut the engine. For fine adjustment, turn it clockwise to increase, anti-clockwise to decrease. Once again, that's responding very nicely in sim. Small adjustments are often hard to do with the standard prop or mixture levers. Now changed our view to the trim wheel. What I like about this trim wheel is that the movement of the trim wheel itself only makes relatively small input into the sim. The trim wheel's not jumping up in large steps, making trim difficult. We can also test out the flap lever. That's it in sim there. First of all, we'll try flap down. Go all the way down, there we are, and now flap up. That's responding exactly as we expected it to, and we can check that externally as well. Next to no latency at all, which is exactly what we want to see. Let's jump back in the cockpit now and we can have a look at the parking brake. Parking brake is here, and as you can see it's currently on. Push the parking brake forward and the parking brake goes off. Pull it back out and it comes on, working exactly as we intended. Now on the Cessna Skylane I can't test the landing gear as it has fixed landing gear. Here I'm in the Beechcraft G36, landing gear functioning as intended, and of course this aircraft can be flown with these controls no problem. Though it doesn't use vernier controls, it uses throttle, prop and mixture. Thank you Honeycomb for this great addition to our hardware lineup in sim. In my book it's a winner. Final pricing and launch date are still to be confirmed, although I am aware it's prior to Christmas. Unlike all Honeycomb products, I expect the price to be competitive, and like the other products, offer good bang for your buck overall. I honestly have no gripes in terms of the overall quality or functionality of the unit, and following hard on the heels of the Alpha Light, it's good to see more product coming into the market from Honeycomb. From my standpoint, I welcome the addition of the Sierra TPM into the flight sim market. It's a sturdy unit built to last, and I think we'll be seeing a lot more of it in the future. I have the Bravo Throttle Quadrant light and the Foxtrot Aviation stick in hand. Let me know in the comments below which review you'd like to see first. And my thanks to Honeycomb for supplying the products free of charge to the channel for preview purposes. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you very much for joining me today. Stay well, look after yourselves, see you soon. and ciao for now.